What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Hyperliquid today. Hype. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it. Hype is pumping today. It's been pumping all week, and it's up a nice bit. I've noticed here that while Hype is up 28%, there's some others that are up a good bit as well. Some that are even in the same space, so to speak, as Hyperliquid. Uh, let's see. Aster's up a little bit over the past week, right? We see Pump.fun is up a little bit here. What was it? Layer Zero's up a little bit too. Where are we? Where is Layer Zero? Layer Zero's up a good little bit. And this is kind of like the infrastructure layer to things like Hyperliquid, like Aster. Lighter is up right now, 15%. So it just seems as though decentralized trading desks are being speculated on right now. Maybe the smart money's getting into there. I don't know. You guys know how the narrative for Zcash started, right? People started talking about the privacy narrative and how people were investing in Zcash, institutions were investing in Zcash. There were pumps that happened before the news happened, right? Like in the terms of Zcash, we look at ZEC USD. How many people were paying attention to the narrative here? How many people were paying attention to the narrative here? It wasn't until you got that big pump here, until you saw that big move, until this move was basically halfway done from start to finish, that people started to become aware of the narrative that institutions were buying. What if that's what's happening here? Hyperliquid dropped a good bit from its high. I mean, from a $60 high to a $20 low, and now it's pumping a lot. I don't know. I'm just saying. I want to use a chart that has volume, but for the sake of this video, I want to use this chart because it has all the data, and I think that's important. We're probably going to look at a lot of the data. Maybe for the short-term stuff, which we'll start off with, maybe we can use some volume. So we'll bring it back to this. You know what? I'll leave this chart up, and then we'll do it here. Hype USDT on Binance or Bybit. Bybit probably got it a little. No. We're gonna do Binance. Isn't it on Binance? Just the perps, huh? Okay, there we go. Daily time frame, looking at this, a lot of volume coming in. Yes, that's exactly what you want to see. This looks really good. Yeah, you're getting here. You are looking productive with your RSI and your stochastics and the MACD. They all look like you want to go higher. I doubt you stop here. Maybe because you found resistance here before and a little bit of support here before, maybe you kind of dilly-dally. But my assumption now would be that we probably do break through the zone and we come up. I think that you've made your move down. You've kind of barred it out down here, and you're probably going to come up. I would expect you come up to this point faster than it took you to get from this point down to here. It's going to be faster. It'll be a much faster move. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame. We'll zoom out from there, okay? 1 hour time frame. Looking at this. A lot of volume here. You're pushing up a little bit less volume. Yeah, you probably get tied up for a second here, but not too long. Let your indicators cool off. You have a little bit of bearish divergence and stuff. Let them cool off on the 1 hour. That can promote, consolidation for as much as like a few days, maybe a week. Nothing too long. Let's see what the 4 hours telling us here. 4 hours, pretty overbought. Typically, when you get this overbought, you don't just see a moment where you're up here and then you're down. Typically, that's not what happens, right? You might come down and cool off a little bit, but you'll probably see multiple readings up here, like you did here, like you did here. You had multiple readings. It's not just going to be a one-off like that, or like this here, right? Typically, when you get this overbought, you do see multiple readings, and it's in these instances where you come back into the overbought zone, these multiple reading areas, where you continue to grow, where you get a lot of growth, right? It seems as though from here to here, you needed all this to grow. But I'm telling you, from here, from this point now, back up to here, even a lower high, you can see just as much growth in the price, right? Because it's all relative. It's all relative. This move, that's why it's called the RSI. It's the Relative Strength Index. This move, relatively speaking, was very strong. Now that you've shown strength, if you were to make the same move, you're not going to get the same strong reading. It'll be weaker, right? It'll be weaker. It's all relative strength. Anyways, I don't know how to explain it better than that. Maybe if I wanted to make a whole video explaining it, I could, but I don't want to. So stochastics are overbought. Maybe we come down a little bit. Coming down does not mean that we see lower lows. It just means we cool off, we consolidate. Hyperliquid being here at 27, 28 bucks, it's possible that it goes all the way down to 24 to $23. I doubt it. What I really am truthfully expecting is that we'll see a different reaction, right? Here, let's see. Let's actually see if we can find exactly what I'm talking about here. Probably not. Okay, so not right there, but it's still in a certain sense we can make this work. So from here, when you found resistance, you moved up, you rejected. When you found resistance here, you rejected. When we come up here and we find resistance, I'm expecting we don't reject. We do a little dance, and we make a little love, and we're going to get up tonight. Bow, 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 bow. We're going to be pumping. It's going to be good, and likely move up to that next level, breaking out of this whole kind of lower dynamic that we're in, that we've been in since early, mid-December there. We look at this on the daily time frame. Did we look at the 4-hour indicators already? Yes, we did. Okay. We look at the daily time frame, the daily indicators. And assuming that we're going to break out of this low kind of area here, from a high to a low, my expectation is, and look at that, we're right above the 236. We probably consolidate just like this, and then we'll move up. We could stop at the 382. Maybe we dilly-dally. We work our way up like this. Maybe it's a methodical kind of effort, or maybe it's just spontaneous and crazy and we move all the way up to the golden ratio. This is kind of what I'm thinking, is that we either stop at the 0.5 or the golden ratio personally. There is reason enough to stop here at the 382 at about $31 to $35, but I would think, or sorry, 31 to like $32, but I would think $35 to $43 is a very acceptable target area. We're at $27 now. We're probably going to pump to those levels, I would think, over the next, within the next 2 weeks. Within the next 2 weeks. That's my assumption. From there, consolidate, whatever. By that time, everybody's aware that the smart money's getting into hype. It's time to get into hype. It's going to send it to new all-time highs. We're probably halfway through the move in reference to Zcash, and then we can move all the way up to $79, maybe to $113 as our ending target area for hype sometime in March. That'd be my expectation. So early February, mid-February, 42 to 40 bucks. We probably consolidate going into the end of the month. Maybe end of month we start to pump back up again, but March should bring in these prices. I think March will be the price, the time frame that ushers in new all-time highs for hype. I do expect new all-time highs to happen in March. If not March, then April at the latest, but something between $79 to $113 from here, $27 is what I would expect to see in the next 2 to 3 months. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Hype is not the only one, right? Hype's not the only one. And actually, there's a few others that I want to talk about, right? I talked about, I don't like Aster. No. Lighter, I do like Lighter. I think Lighter's a good one, you guys. That one actually might, I think it's better than Hype. I think it's better than Aster. I think, I don't know. I like Lighter a lot. There's plenty of other protocols out there, but I do like Lighter. There's other things too. There's a bunch of other protocols out there. Layer 0 might be a good one to invest in. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. But the main point of what I'm trying to discuss here is Home. Home is another one. Home. We look at Home. Home is a decentralized trading desk as well. Look at how much it's been pumping up. All these decentralized trading desks, man, they've been doing well. Home taps in directly. It's up 90% from its lows. And it's still a very low market cap. Home, let's just see, it's the DeFi app. If you guys have never heard of it, it's pretty cool. I like the DeFi app. And by the way, shout out to the DeFi app. I had an issue, and it was a user-based issue. It was my fault. I hit them up. They responded to me very quickly, very respectfully, very appropriately, helped me through it, figured it out. They're great. They actually have customer service, which that's hard to find anywhere in your cell phone provider, in your insurance provider, let alone in crypto. It's really hard to find, but they got it going on. So I actually really respect Home. I like the DeFi app. Very low market cap. Very low market cap in what is potentially a new sector in crypto that's about to develop and pump, right? We had DeFi summer, we've had NFTs go off, we had the meme coin craze, things cycle through. What if we go through a decentralized trading desk kind of craze? It seems like we might be at the beginning of that. I don't know. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying move all your funds into those type of tokens, but if you are trying to make a play off of that, Home might be a good one. Hype is probably the Mac Daddy. It's got the highest market cap. It's the one that everybody uses. It's got the most user bases. But Home taps into Hype's liquidity. So Home doesn't have its own liquidity pool. It taps into the same liquidity that Hype has, right? So, but it's at a lower market cap. It's basically, if you go on Hyperliquid or you go on DeFi app, They're basically the same app. DeFi app's a little bit dumbed down. There's some differences. There's some key differences. And the way that you can kind of compete with other traders on Home, I think, is a little bit better and more sophisticated. They make it more interactive, and it's cool. I don't know. I like it. I think that it's a cheap, low market cap coin. And if you like hype, I would treat Home to hype as like XRP is to XLM or XRP is to HBAR, right? If you're invested in XRP, you might be invested in the other two off of speculation. Or if you're invested in Ethereum and Solana, you might be invested in Cardano or Sui or other layer 1 protocols that might do well as well. It's just the way that you do things. So if you're in the hype space, maybe think about getting some Home as well, because I really do think that this one will see some new all-time highs as well. But this is a hype video, not a Home video. I'm just offering thoughts here at the end. So I'm going to end that. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. There's definitely some type of movement going on with protocols like hype, decentralized trading desk protocols. And their infrastructure layers too. So just keep that in mind, okay? Might be something worth checking out right now. These might pump before everything else does. There's always a sector that front runs the market before the market goes crazy. And we're in this moment where I think the market is about to go crazy. I think February and March are going to be very good months. February is going to uncork. It's where we're going to uncork that bottle. And March is whenever everything's going to just foam over and blast the ceiling. I don't know. Maybe some parts of February too. We're going to get some excitement in February for sure, but I think March will really be that euphoric kind of time. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all. Take care. Bye-bye.